Hello, I'm Cheryl Morales of the Newport News Tourism Office, and welcome to What's New in Newport News, virtually. You know, in this unprecedented time, we are very hopeful that you and your family are well, and we wanted to let you know that our tourism family is doing okay. So, through modern technology, we're here to show you and to tell you about what's happening in the Newport News tourism family. With us today is Liz Parker, President of the Newport News Hospitality Association, and also General Manager of the Holiday Inn Newport News, Hampton. Thank you, Liz, for being with us.
Hi, good morning.
We also have Jenna Dill. She's the Marketing Communication Manager over at the Mariners Museum. Thank you so much for being with us.
Morning, everybody.
Also, we have Rebecca Kleinhample. She's the Executive Director of the Virginia Living Museum. And again, Rebecca, thanks for being with us.
Hi, glad to be here.
And we do have Chad Martin. He is the chef and owner of Circa 1918. Thanks, Chad.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Well, being here, representing all of the tourism family, it's kind of nice to, see everybody. It's been a while, and I miss y'all, so I want to thank you again for being with us. Liz, why don't we start with you? Because you represent the Newport News Hospitality Association, I know you've been working with the Virginia Restaurant, Lodging, and Travel Association as well. Can you give us an update on those two organizations?
Sure. The NNHA, as well as Newport News Hospitality Association and the VRLTA, we've been working very closely with the governor's office. And this started immediately when the COVID-19 hit our area in mid-March. And a couple of things that we've been working on very, very quickly on is, of course, the Executive Order 53 and Executive Order 55. We're hoping that we can see our restaurants open back up again on the 14th at 11:59 p.m. On the 14th of May. We are certainly, in fact, just today, Eric Terry, who is the president of the VRLTA, he just sent a letter to the governor's office supporting and recommending that we move forward with opening our businesses to a minimum, to just make sure that we stay within phase one. Making sure that we have, 10 persons or less, or a percentage of what the occupancy is for the restaurant. In other words, if you have a restaurant that may have 100, seats, at least we can serve 25 people. Let's do it at 25%, just so that we can try to keep the economy moving. We've been in communication with various different types of all from DC to Florida to South Carolina and North Carolina, talking to tourism teams to find out what they're doing and what we can do as well, and how we can change things and put things into make things smoother for us as we transition. I'm very excited about our phase one, hopefully coming about on the 14th. And then I'm hoping that phase two, we can move into that just as quickly to where that will allow 50 persons in our restaurants. Phase three, I'm very concerned about the timeline on that. That's actually the middle or end of July. And that's kind of concerning for us, being that we could see some additional hotels as well as restaurants go out of business. Our attractions are absolutely feeling this very hard. The restaurants are feeling it hard. The hotels are feeling it hard. And we can only hope that we're able to kind of move things along very quickly in the month of May and June. And let's get started in June instead of July.
I'm with you 100%, Liz. Definitely. I do know, Chad, it was over 100 years ago that the community that you work in, Hilton Village, was also going through this. It's amazing. What changes have you had to make in order to remain open?
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy, as Liz said. The last 2 weeks of March, where I saw a real decline, and we were doing about half our sales. But the changes that I made is I have a food trailer that we put in front of the restaurant, and we're serving food truck food, kind of our medium tier, our kind of lower tier, more for the masses, the family meal that feeds up to 4 people. And that's usually like $45 to $55, depending on the product. And then we have our regular menu condensed, a little more a la carte, a little more of that geeky Circa that you're used to. So all 3 of those combined actually gave us the best April we've ever had.
Fantastic.
So, so
how do you come up with your menus now? With, unfortunately, with some shortages that are occurring. How do you go about that?
So just creative use of every piece of the product. Nothing's thrown away, scraps for vegetables or stock. And throughout time in the restaurant, when we're serving those finer products, wild king salmon and halibut and rockfish, we want the center of the plate to have a really great appearance. So we trim things off, and we may save those. We put those right in the freezer. So we can bring those out for fish cakes, for ceviche, for tacos. And we're doing a lot of that with our pork products and beef products, just that we save. So we already paid for the product per pound, and now we're just realizing and squeezing every penny out of it. So that's really a great way to do it. But just realizing where your price points are and not spending too much. We keep a very close eye on that week to week with managers, and everybody has kept their job. We've had to morph a little bit. Some of the front of the house are kind of back of the house now, because during this time they've cooked before. And the tips are amazing. So with all the tips combined throughout everything, we use that to pay everybody. And the sustainability from just the net sales alone are helping with my salary people. So it's beautiful.
And
I'm fortunate.
I was going to say the food truck is a great addition to the neighborhood, to the community as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if we'd be able to have it parked there pre or post pandemic. It takes parking spaces, and there's other businesses that need customers to park. So it's doing great now. We could move it maybe down the block to an area in the future. But I really put it on the back burner for a while, and I took it out of the breweries. It wasn't as successful as I thought. So I put it away for a couple of years, and coronavirus kind of resurrected it. And it's really kind of saved us. That and the family meals are killing.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chad. Well, I know the schools, they've been closed since March 16th. And I thank God my son is older, because if it really was different, I'd be looking and reaching out for anything that would be able to help me help him keep focused. But, our attractions are doing just that. And thank God for y'all. So, Rebecca, tell us how you are connecting with the students during this time period at the Virginia Living Museum.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Cheryl. We've got our professional curators and educators just jumped right in and created what we're calling a natural education series. So basically, we've just gone virtual with the same folks that are here daily caring for animals. They are now live streaming twice a day at 11 and 2:30. They're also pre-recording videos to show at various times during the day, so that both students, their teachers, the family members, who many of course are at home, can still connect with us. We can still share nature, still talk about the mammals, birds, reptiles, botanicals that are here on the 23 acres of our campus.
That's fantastic. I definitely would be reaching out for that, for sure. And you're reaching out for the community as well, too. You just, for example, had your native plant sale, didn't you?
Right.
What is the importance of that?
It's ongoing. Yeah, it's ongoing right now. We do it twice a year, spring and fall. So we feel it's very important to share the native species. They thrive, obviously, in our soils. They use less waters. They are really what you want to plant in your garden if you're looking for carefree species. And it's vital, obviously, to our mission to be able to have some sustainable revenue. We never close at the museum. There are 250 species of animals here. That's approximately 1,000 that need care every single day. So the difference for us only is that there are no folks coming in the front door to share this and to support it with revenue. So, that truly is the challenge for all attractions that are foot traffic based for their revenue. That's about 70% for us here at the Virginia Living Museum. So we're just working to transition as fast and hard as we can, like every business out there. We have an animal support fund that is available for our community to help us with. We're transitioning our gala to a virtual event, all kinds of things.
Now, where can they find more information about your emergency fund?
Oh, on the website, absolutely, thevlm.org, or we're live on Facebook twice a day and all over social media.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Rebecca. Jenna, with the Mariners Museum, how are you connecting with the community?
Sure, yeah, we're doing, a handful of fun things. We're sharing creative activities that you can do with the kids at home. We're hosting live workshops and webinars. So we've repurposed all of those programs and things that we were going to be offering in person, and we're now streaming them online, through YouTube and Zoom. And another cool thing is our education team, they're offering interactive online sessions to students.
Online what? I'm sorry.
Interactive online sessions.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, so the spring, we were going to have, thousands and thousands of students at the museum for their field trips, for their spring field trips. And knowing that they couldn't make it to the museum, since we're closed and all staying home, we've turned some of those field trips into interactive online sessions. So the students can still have, a unique one-on-one experience with one of our educators and one or two cool artifacts that we can feature in these online sessions. So that's something fun that we've been offering. But what I love most about what we're doing right now is the emphasis on our blogs. Ultimately, we're focusing all of our digital experiences on harnessing the power of the stories that our collection tells. And one of the best ways we can feature that is on our blogs. And, we're pushing out about, 4 to 6 blogs per week. And what's great about that is it not only highlights the incredible stories in our collection, but it also just really showcases how we're all connected to the world's waters, how we're all a mariner at heart. And that's what I love about the blogs, is that you can really see that come to life. And the blogs get to showcase our fun, quirky talents and passions that we have at the museum. Our staff is just incredibly talented, and it's fun to let their voices shine in that kind of way. So that's been a really great way that we've been able to stay connected with the community. And, even though we can't physically be together, we can use technology to stay connected and to stay, bridge that gap and still, continue to serve our community digitally.
Well, Jenna, real quickly, just give me an example of one of those stories.
One of the most recent ones we shared was about the Titanic. So, back in April, commemorated the 108th anniversary of the Titanic sinking. And there's a lot of popular stories out there. There's a lot of romanticized stories. And there's a lot of more well-known families that were on the Titanic, and like the Astor family and a few others. And those are some stories a lot of people know, but there's a lot of other really incredible stories that people don't really know about. And one of my favorite artifacts in our collection is a scarf that we have that came from the Axe family. And the Axe family is a locally based family. They lived here in Norfolk, and the story behind this scarf is really, really heartwarming to me. When the night the Titanic was sinking, Mrs. Astor, one of the more famous, more wealthiest passengers on the ship, she was wearing a scarf around her neck. And during the chaos of everybody going to the lifeboats, she met a third class passenger, a mama and her baby. And she took off her scarf and wrapped it around the baby to keep the baby safe. And it so happens that mom and that baby were traveling here to Norfolk, Virginia, to meet her husband and the baby's father here to grow a life here. And then they ended up living here and having a major impact on our society here. And we have that scarf in our collection. So it's, stories like that we can share, and that's not necessarily something you can, even just experience coming into the museum unless you have, someone there talking about the artifact and bringing that to life. So digitally, we can bring some of these stories to life and showcase things that people might not just get to read by reading, text on a label.
Oh, how fun. I agree. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Liz, I know that the Holiday Inn, Newport News Hampton, has been a central part of our community as well. You guys have been right there. Can you tell the citizens what you've been doing?
Absolutely. We were approached from the city of Newport News in reference to the emergency management services, in which to be able to help our responders in the event that they were exposed to COVID-19. And I was very thankful that we received the call. And the call came as being president of the United States, as president of NNHA. And what was really quite endearing was that, that we were reached out for that. So I sent an email out to all of our members who are hotelier members, asking would they like to participate and be part of this program that the city was putting together for our first responders. Unfortunately, not everyone responded. Not everyone wanted to participate, but our hotel did. So what we did is that we made arrangements with the city to where we would block off a floor just for those individuals who are our first responders in the event if they were ever exposed to the virus. It's something that I'm very proud of because, our firefighters, our EMTs, our police officers, they run into buildings that are on fire. They, our police officers are responding to domestic calls, and domestic violence is up because of what's happening now. Alcohol ABC sales are up right now. Our EMT, providers, paramedics are doing everything that they can possible to save lives. And it was just one of our ways of saying, you know what, we're here for you. You're here for us, and we're going to be here for you too. Another thing that we've done is that we've made sure that our hotel is a mission critical hotel. What that means is that our hotel is designated by FEMA, as well as by the city of Newport News, and by the Department of Defense. So that means that our guidelines are a little bit different from other guidelines, meaning that we need to make sure that we have signage in the front of the house, the back of the house, the social distancing, which everyone is doing, the masks, the cleaning, washing of your hands, sanitizing, things of that nature. But what we do a little bit differently is that, being that we're a full service hotel, we have someone who is, like right now, we have individuals who are quarantined here for 14 days, and then they're allowed to go onto their ship, and that's through the Department of the Navy. So being that they're quarantined in their guest room, just imagine a guest having to stay in a guest room for 14 days. That's just unbelievable. It's hard to believe, right? So what we've been able to do is that we're trying to help them to where we make their stay a lot more pleasant. It's a lot more easier on them. We do room service where we take it to the guest room. We knock on the door, leave the food there. We do linen service. And, when it comes to the community, we want to be a leader, especially in the hotel world, to make sure that everyone knows that we're here for them. It's not just about us, all the time. It's about what's best for our community. So I'm glad that we're a part of the first responders.
I am too, Liz. Thank you and your team, for stepping up and helping the city like that. That's very impressive. Thanks. And look, we had somebody join our team. Thank you so much. Sean Mohammed of Keland's Louisiana Seafood Restaurant. Welcome to the group. Thank you for joining us. Now, I know you guys just opened up in January, and March comes with what we're dealing with right now. How did you transition to what you're doing now to stay open?
Well, it was very difficult. Being a new operation, you don't have a history with the community. So we had to really work hard to brand our name out there. We've made a lot of connections with the shipyard as well as the Riverside Hospital family, doing large orders that way. We've branched out now. We're doing deliveries with Uber Eats, Grubhub, as well as DoorDash. We also try to help out the community a little more, where we're giving away, disinfected sanitizer for free. They bring their bottles in, we fill it up, and then that way we're also getting, more of a relationship with a lot of people.
And you also have
So
a little mini mart going on, don't you, with for the community? Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
we do. We are selling. We have hand sanitizer, toilet paper, paper towels. We have bleach, as well as different forms of disinfectant. We have hospital grade sanitizer, as well as two different types of masks we're selling. We have the KN95s, as well as the basic masks that you get in the hospital. So we're trying our best to be there in any form, shape, or fashion we can, as well as give people a little taste of Louisiana if they order with us.
Well, I know Stony Run appreciates that, your community, as well as expanding out to the rest of Newport News. I know the transition must have been something for all of a sudden having to do delivery only, carry out and delivery.
Yeah, it's hard. A lot of people aren't accustomed to it. You still have customers that want to come in and they miss the dining experience. But we assured them that we're here for long term. So hopefully by the end of the summer, things will get back to normal or close to normal, and we can, be able to entertain the customers like they're supposed to be.
I'm with you, Sean. Definitely. Thank you. Chad, let's continue with that thought about when we transition back to won't be normal tourism, definitely going to be something a little different, something new. How do you see Circa in that picture?
Yeah, so I mean, we paid close attention to the dates building up to it and watching the last 2 weeks of March just kind of decline. It was really a scary time, but in my current condition and morphing into 3 small businesses within one, the cumulative is going to keep me rocking all summer. I'm going to just continue it because if I go back to the 25%, I only see 40 people. So, we're serving, I would have to lay people off at that point. I've kept everybody so far with these concepts, but I would actually go into having to let people go into the core staff. I would probably be cooking online again and slinging the pans, but I was fortunate again. The family meals and the food trailer have just been great. So I can't speak for everybody. We also partnered with World Central Kitchen. I have friends up there, Jose Andres out of Washington, D.C., in their food initiative programs. We helped get Finn and Kazi's and Hilton Brewery back up and running minimally. They pay for meals. They deliver them to senior centers. There's about 333 seniors that needed meals every day. And, just serving 150 can generate 40,000 in revenue a month for a restaurant. And, they can bring 4 people back. But we're just busy.
Well, what do you think? People now, because of doing this for 2 months, are almost getting used to the carry-out delivery, having it at home. And I know that even because you have special occasions that happen, you're always going to have a birthday, you're always going to have an anniversary or that kind of thing. And during this time period where you can't go to a nice restaurant, such as yours, but you can have delivery or carry out. I know that I read something on your Facebook about a couple celebrating their anniversary and actually ordered your delicious meal and brought it home, did a tablecloth, a white tablecloth, the wine, the candle, and celebrated at home. I think that's sweet.
I do too. We've had quite a few pictures like that. So, I like it because it's maybe broadening people's culture on, fine dining in their home and, taking on cooking a little bit more for themselves. And that always pleases a chef. But we always love to cook for them. and it's really special.
I'm glad you've been able
love
to
our
stay
customers.
open during this and adjust. And I do wish you all the well in the future. That's for sure.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Well, in between opening now and then, I know that, for example, the Virginia Living Museum, Rebecca, you did a plant sale, the annual plant sale. Do you see any other events that are you trying to plan now so to help out, for example, your emergency fund that you need?
Oh, absolutely. We've been reworking everything possible to turn it to virtual. The Animal Support Fund is an opportunity for our community to support the welfare of the approximately 1,000 animals that are here that we've made a commitment to in the biodiversity of our environment and in sharing them with our community. We are transitioning our gala event to a virtual event so that our supporting community, our donors, our members, the community at large can share generally the same experience with us, but at a broader scale. So we'll be doing an online auction. We'll be asking folks if they'd like to be an ambassador for us and create their own fundraiser. So really just the opportunity to continue that connection with the community, to share what we love here at the Virginia Living Museum fully, and trying not to diminish any of that mission.
Very good. Thank you, Rebecca. Liz, what additional steps are you taking now to maintain a clean and safe hotel experience? And have you been hearing about that from our other hotels in Newport News?
Absolutely. So with the Virginia Department of Health and also with the American Hotel Lodging Association, CDC, EPA, there are so many things that we are going to have to change. It's going to become the norm for us. We're going to see more hand sanitation or sanitizers that are on stands before you enter a building. Have it be if you're entering a new exhibit area at a museum. Have it be if it's before you go in the restroom and after you come out of the restroom. It's going to be extremely important to make sure that we have posters up. I can totally see that happening through Department of Health with the state of Virginia. Where we will have posters for the front of the house, reminding our employees to make sure that they wear their masks, they use hand sanitizer, they have gloves on. Same thing for the back of the house in the employee lounge area as they enter and exit the hotel or any business of theirs. I think the high traffic areas is where we're going to see a lot where we're going to have these things available. Our hotel has transitioned to where we have these at our front desk. We have these at the hand sanitizers on every floor of the guest tower, in the meeting room area, before the restaurant, those types of things. So I think our transition is going to be quite different as we've seen it. I will say from a business standpoint, we're seeing a lot of businesses, especially the association business, seems to be coming back a little bit. So we're seeing more people wanting to put their meetings back on track where they've had to cancel them. So we're seeing more meetings coming in the months of September and October and November. So that means that we're going to have more visitors coming to our cities that are going to be able to help. We can push that traffic over to our restaurants, our local restaurants. So we can have a dining experience there, or have it be if they visit one of our attractions, if they go to the Virginia Living Museum, or have it be if they go to Mariners, down in Gross, down in downtown Newport News, Enview up in the north end of the city. So our occupancies, we're seeing that the occupancies in the Hampton Roads area are actually higher than what they are in other cities. The city of Williamsburg is actually feeling it. City of Hampton is very close, neck to neck with the city of Newport News. Norfolk is actually doing better, primarily because of all the Navy that they have over in that area. So as we move forward and we see our occupancies increasing, we're going to be, hopefully we'll see more of that business traffic coming back into the hotels and into our restaurants. I'm very concerned about our attractions, primarily because the attractions, are not able to allow anyone to go into their businesses. Everything is being done by virtually, and which is great. But when it comes to revenues, and there's a revenue stream that our attractions have to maintain, because we have, some of our attractions are nonprofit. And they rely on that funding from those individuals out in the community, as well as those that come in and visit those attractions. So when this is all over with, I hope we have lots of our citizens and residents spend more time in their own city to explore their city. Let's explore the attractions that we have here, the parks. Take time to have a great dining experience at many of our wonderful restaurants here in the area.
Oh, and I have to agree wholeheartedly. With the tourism office, what we've done is taken that spirit of travel theme and
Right.
extending it onward. We started it during National Tourism and Travel Week and extending it on. So the spirit of travel in your own backyard, really. I mean, what better places? We have over 30 parks in Newport News. We have all of the attractions that you can think of, whether it is like with the animals or the history, just so much restaurants. And make a mini little vacation out of it and stay in a hotel. Get away from your house. Yeah. You've been in the house for all this time, being safe. You're going to be safe at our hotel too. So when the time is right. But the spirit of travel, absolutely, in your own backyard. Well, that transitions us into a question that Jenna wanted to ask me of her. And I thought, I'm going to ask everybody this question because I really liked it. She wanted to know, what are you looking forward to the most when we are all back together again? So, Jenna, why don't I start with you? What are you looking forward to the most when we're able to be back together?
Sure. I mean, there's so many things I'm looking forward to. But I think what's driving me now and giving me the most, motivation to looking forward to that is just really how our interactions with each other, not only as a museum staff, but with our guests, with our community. I think we're going to be so much more intentional with each other. I think every action, every word, I think we're going to be more caring, more thoughtful, more loving on our community. And I think that, through this, through this commonality of this crisis we're going together, we're just all going to be really connected together as one community. And I think we're going to care about each other more. And I can't wait to see how that, truly plays out with the guests coming in our doors and us interacting with our visitors. I think it's actually going to be really great. And that's definitely giving me inspiration to look forward to.
Well, thank you, Jenna. Me too. Sean, what do you think? What's the most important thing that you can think of when we all get back together?
I'll piggyback off what she said. I mean, I think that this whole experience is going to bring a lot of people closer together. A lot of people have really been supporting local businesses throughout this thing as much as they could. Really? I know we've gotten a lot more exposure with people ordering takeout. People that hadn't even heard of us, or didn't even know we were here. So I really want to put on a big parade, Louisiana style. Bring everybody in, and let everybody have a good time. But I'm just looking forward to, opening up the patio and playing good music and just being vibrant with the community. Like I said before, I mean, we're trying our best to stay as active as possible with, everyone around us. We've got a new drive that we're doing for elderly people who have diabetes. We're giving out free alcohol to them. I mean, we're just, I just hope that the love that we've been feeling in Newport News doesn't go away. I hope everyone keeps up that great attitude.
Absolutely. Yep. Gotta love NN, right? Thank you. Rebecca, what are your thoughts?
So looking forward to the joyful faces here on the museum floor, interacting with passionate staff members who just love to share the environment that we all live in and the biodiversity that's here at the museum. Honestly, it's the joy and the fact that when you walk out onto the museum floor on any given day, you see generations of families truly enjoying each other, enjoying the opportunity to kind of leave their duties at home and come, to a local place that really supports the fact that we create memories with people. So it honestly is the joyful faces, and something we're doing here at the museum internally that I may take external to social media. We're doing a mini survey of what your top 3 takeaways are. Lessons learned. So what did you learn about the museum? What did you learn about your job? What did you learn about your own personal self and life as a result of this challenge we're all having together? And I honestly, it comes down to the word joy and how we can all celebrate this beautiful planet that we share.
Yes, and I while you were describing that, it also brought to me the energy. I miss when you go into a museum such as yours and you're seeing the kids and you're seeing the students and you're seeing the adults that, all around that lobby, the energy, that you get from it. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Thank you, Rebecca. Chad,
Absolutely.
You're up. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Oh, they said it way better than I'm going to say any of this. Rebecca and Jenna, those were great points. Yeah, I agree. The interaction, I think that some of the things that we've been doing, the initiatives that we've been working with food-related items like the Central World Kitchen, and finding those underdeserved people and communities. And I hope that the awareness brought to those, the support is kept up with those, because they were underdeserved before. And I'm so glad they're getting help now, but I hope that continues. But I think that it goes hand in hand with the joy and the love and we really shine when we're put up against adversity. And I really think that that's just the American way and the human spirit that's just going to bring us back even stronger. I'm looking forward to the interactions with the guests. Coronavirus, in spring, I would have hated it in wintertime. So, we get guests coming up and picking up things. So we still really get that kind of interaction with them. Not as close, but at least we still get to talk to them. We tried delivery. They said, we don't want it delivered. We want to get out of our house. So, but actually just sitting in a chair for an hour and a half to 2 hours and just having a one-on-one with a server just taking care of you is the thing that I think people are missing the most. And you can't replace that.
Yep, I can't wait for that too. Thanks, Chad. And Liz, finally, what do you think? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to having my staff back. We had to cut over 83% of our staff. So I'm looking forward to our staff coming back. I'm looking forward to business getting back to the new normal because we know that's going to happen. I'm looking forward to having kids run through the lobby and jumping in the pool, and mom and dad, having a cappuccino or a latte in the lobby area, or someone having a burger and burger theory. I'm looking forward to giving them directions of how to get to, our attractions, to the Living Museum and Mariners, because they're right on J. Clyde Morris. And I think, one of the things that we have to make sure that we continue is that we have to be resilient. We absolutely have to make sure that we're strong and we keep up the endurance, and that we continue to be resilient. If there's anything that I think that I've learned from this is that we need to make sure that we stay strong, stay level-headed, have compassion, not only for your family but for others as well, because we're not the only ones that are hurting. There are many people out there that are hurting that we don't even know about. So a little kindness, like Jenna said, can go a long way. And I'm thankful that our team here at the hotel has been able to reach out to its customers and tell them how much we appreciate their business and what we look forward to in the latter part of 2020 and 2021. So we're going to continue to be resilient, and we're going to keep up that endurance.
Absolutely. And I'll add just one other little tidbit to that, and that's being together as a tourism industry, a tourism family, staying together,
Right.
sticking together. We're going to be stronger together. And I wish you guys all the best. And I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for joining us today and watching this special episode of What's New in Newport News. Stay tuned for the future as we gradually open the city, because we'll get these guys back again and they can tell us what their procedures are and what you can expect, and maybe some other special events that are going to be happening. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.